Shadow Minister Stephen Kinnock.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for sight of this statement. But I have to say that this really is getting quite difficult to watch. Not for the first time, the Minister has come to that dispatch box desperately fishing for compliments when it is his government, his Home Secretary and his Prime Minister who are the cause of the catastrophic state of both the work-based migration and asylum systems. This is their chaos, their bin fire, and yet they expect praise each time they half-heartedly attempt to throw a single teacup of water towards the flames. Net migration has trebled since 2019 to a barely comprehensible 745,000. And under this government, the number of people crossing in small boats has spiralled from a few hundred in 2018 to tens of thousands every year. So it was toe-curlingly embarrassing to watch the Minister here claim that he's made, and I quote, solid progress on stopping the boats, when this year the number of crossers are at their highest level on record, more than 7,000 January to April. It was excruciatingly painful to watch the Home Secretary boast on social media about removing people with no right to be here, when the removal of failed asylum seekers has collapsed by 44% under this government since 2010. And the removal of foreign criminals has plummeted by 27%. And when he's completely lost track of 3,500 asylum seekers who he claims to be identified for deportation to Rwanda. It is also painful to hear the government figures bragging in the media that their Rwanda policy is somehow a success because a single person who didn't even cross the channel on a small boat has chosen to fly to Rwanda voluntarily with thousands of pounds of government money stuffed into his pocket by the Home Secretary. Mr. Speaker, this is not a policy. It's a headline-chasing gimmick, a fiasco and a farce. Labour has been absolutely clear that we reject the £500 million Rwanda scheme based on its unaffordability and its unworkability, and that will only cover 1% of small boat asylum seekers, and the government has no plan for the other 99%. We will repurpose that money to smashing the criminal smuggler gangs with our new cross-border police unit and a security partnership with Europol. And crucially, our new returns and enforcement unit will ensure that more flights take off to other countries which remove foreign criminals, failed asylum seekers and visa overstayers so that we can restore some control and integrity back into our asylum system in a way that is firm, fair and well managed. We'll also end the use of 250 asylum hotels and other inappropriate accommodation for asylum seekers, which is costing the British taxpayer millions of pounds every single day. Mr. Speaker, it is also, by the way, painful to hear the Minister bragging today about a reduction of health and social care visas awarded as a way of bringing down net migration. Firstly, based on such a small data sample. Secondly, because this is only one sector of the economy. And thirdly, because the Minister seems to care not one iota what this reduction in workers will mean for our elderly parents. What is the impact assessment? Where is it? And where is the plan to recruit local talent? Mr. Speaker, just a few questions to the Minister to end. On net migration, can the Minister explain why net migration has trebled since his party pledged to lower it during the 2019 general election? Will he admit that the huge surge in work-based migration over recent years is evidence of this government's total failure to deliver on domestic skills and training? Labour pushed the government into scrapping the unfair 20% wage discount on jobs on the shortage occupation list, which allowed companies to undercut British workers by hiring overseas. Can he explain why it took so long for his party to steal our policy? And on asylum, Home Office sources have told The Times that there are only 400 to 700 detention spaces reserved for migrants due for deportation to Rwanda. Can he confirm that this equates to less than 1% of the current asylum backlog in the UK? The Prime Minister promised to detain everyone who crossed the Channel on a small boat, over 30,000 last year. Given that we only have 2,200 detention spaces, what is going to happen to the remaining 28,000? The government's immigration and asylum policies have failed. We need to put the grown-ups back in charge so that we can fix this broken system and once again give our country an asylum and immigration system that it could be proud of. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.